Oh my god, this view. It will be so difficult to just focus on the camera and look straight into the camera the whole time while I'm filming, because let me tell you, this view is something else. Since the mirror view doesn't give it a justice, I will show you the view in here, because as I just said, I can't get enough of it. It's so beautiful. Although today it's a cloudy day, it's still so pleasing to look at it. It's such an eye candy. And sorry if I talk so much about the view, but you can't blame me. It's just so difficult to get over it. It's just really amazing. Recently I posted a full empty apartment tour video, so if you haven't seen that yet, I will link it for you in the description box below so you can have a look at that. And this is a party boat. They had a party, no, this is actually a ferry. There was a party boat here recently. They were partying till late, and that's the only disadvantages of living in the very center, because sometimes on the weekend it can get loud. Okay, I will try my best to be focused on the camera instead of the view. Okay, so good morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while again. I'm not very consistent with my life updates, just because it's very intense lifestyle that I have for ever since I remember. So a lot is going on, and a lot has been going on last couple of weeks and months, but today is the day when I finally get to sit down with you for the first time in my new apartment here in Brisbane in Australia, and we can dig deeper into things and life and all the deep things and some of the less deep things. So yeah, let's just get into this. A couple of days ago I asked you about what questions do you want me to answer in regards to live updates, and I have screenshots of both of your questions in the YouTube channel as well as Instagram, because I made Instagram poll. Is it poll? A Q&A kind of story that you place your questions in, and I'm about to answer as many as I can today. Before we start, I just want to make sure that you will not miss a great sale for an upcoming day, which is Valentine's Day. A great sale which is currently run by one of my favorite jewelry brands, Ana Luisa. The set that I'm wearing today is also from Ana Luisa. I have these hoop earrings. They are very interesting earrings. If you look at them from the front, you can see that they have diamonds halfway from the front and the other halfway is inside. It's not like all around the hoop as regular earrings tend to have. This design had lots of thought into it, so that when someone looks straight at your face, it looks like the whole hoop is fully encrusted, instead of just the stones runs all the way on the outer diameter, because it gives you more sparkle for your money and yeah, just provides better overall effect. Also got this ring, and it's also encrusted with tiny little zirconies. It sparkles more in the artificial light, so it's good for like date night and yeah, going out. It's something that we all need right now in the current times, be out more. And now to the best part of this beautiful new trio that I have, which is the necklace. This necklace is my favorite recently, and the reason why is it gives you two necklaces in the price of one. If you look at it, it's reversible, so it's like double necklace. From one side it has like a golden round plate with pattern of a sun and a zircony, which attracts light, reflects the light and make it sparkle. And if you reverse it, it's like a whole new necklace. It's a black onyx with a zircony. This is a very elegant look. So if you are looking to treat yourself for upcoming Valentine's Day, or treat one of your loved ones, like your girlfriends, your sister, your mother, any woman in your family, or any woman which is close to you, There's no better time to do it than now, because Ana Luisa currently have a Valentine's offer, which is buy one, get another one 40% off. I will have a link below in my description box, so make sure you check it to get the most out of this offer. Okay, so back to the questions. Let's start with the first one that's been asked on Instagram. What are your plans for 2022? I understand where this question comes from. It's a new year, and this is the current trend that you have to make plans, you have to make New Year's resolutions. My answer might be quite unpopular and quite non-trendy and shocking, especially in the current times of pressure and that you have to keep on doing. I don't have plans. That's my answer. I don't have plans. And let me explain you why. The reason why is there are actually a couple of reasons. First of all, my life is very intense. I do not live a standard, typical, I don't want to use wrong words not to offend people with routinous life, because there is a beauty and healthy things in the routine as well. However, my life is not like your typical everyday life. As you know, it's very intense for ever since I remember. As I said, I've lived in 6 countries, I traveled to 60, I did different type of jobs, I did my master degree, I worked in a bank, I owned a company, I was a flight attendant in the Middle East, now I'm in Australia, I lived in Greece, US, I've done lots of things. So ever since I remember, my life always has been intense and ever-changing. Therefore, a year period of time, it's a very long period of time for me, in which a lot of things can happen. Therefore, I do not make plans, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to achieve any goals, or I don't want to do anything with my life, just sit and whatever happens, happens. No. I don't make plans because making plans also puts lots of pressure on us. It's kind of stressful to me, but it doesn't mean that my life doesn't evolve. I just tend to take opportunities as they go. I'm a very courageous person. I'm not afraid of changes. I'm not afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone, as my life so far proves. I'm not afraid to take new opportunities, new challenges, but I tend to do them as they come, as well as one thing at a time. I just moved to a new country. That's a big challenge already. And in the last year, I changed countries 3 times. Yeah, 3. I lost count already. A lot has been going on. I need time and peace and mental space to accommodate myself in the new lifestyle, new routine, and then go from there. So my plan is to be healthy, full of energy, and unstressed, so that I can take up everything that life will throw at me, and all the chances and new opportunities that can arise in this country, and I'm willing to take. But I don't have any plans. The plans is to take life one step at a time as it goes. And also the very, very important reasons why I don't make plans is, as I said already, making plans to me is, it depends on how you approach it, but it can generate pressure and it can generate stress. I had very stressful life till early adult life, and it's something that I've never talked on YouTube, and like only a couple of last years of my life, which already has been very eventful. But my childhood and my early adult life was very, very, very stressful and difficult. Therefore, the amount of stress I took upon me during those years resulted in me, as an adult, taking a cautious decisions of take active part in designing my life in the way that it's least stressful for me. So, as I said, I'm not gonna pencil in my agenda my plans. I will evaluate my life as it goes. I will take it step by step, and I will adjust to the opportunities which life throws at me and life brings me. and use them the best to my abilities. That's how I've been always rolling. That's how I have been doing, and this is how I was making my choices in life, and this is where it brought me, as you see. So not too bad. So maybe instead of being so tight about New Year's resolutions and then bring all this stress and expectations upon ourselves, maybe we should ease ourselves into New Year and what it brings, and just be open to the chances, possibilities it brings, and be our healthiest and most relaxed selves, so we can take the best decision for us when the opportunity arises. I hope I answered that well. That was a lengthy and wordy answer, but that's what I think. Okay, the next question. How did you survive 14 days of quarantine? Easily. It was a bliss, it was easy, it was nice. I enjoyed it, the hotel was great, the food was amazing, they adjusted to my dietary requirements, I slept a lot, I was chilling a lot, I was resting a lot, I was working out and exercising a lot. It was a bliss. I got to spend 24/7 with my favorite person in the world, who is my husband. We were together in the room. We were not bored. We were just having amazing, great time. It was amazing. I loved it. I loved quarantine. It was. I heard people complaining about that. I enjoyed it. So that's all I have to say about it. No complaints. The next question is: how did you find your love? How did you find out your love while you were flight attendant at Etihad? So yeah, exactly. The half of the answer is already in the question. I met my husband when I was working as a flight attendant for Etihad, and he was a soldier. And I have the whole video dedicated to how we met, so I will link it here and in the description box as well, so you can have a look and dive deeper into the whole story. The next question is your husband a soldier, and what are some cultural aspects of Australia you have discovered that are different compared to your culture? So there are like two questions in one. My husband used to be a soldier. He used to serve for Parachute Regiment for the British Army, which is a very elite regiment. Only the best out of the best get to be a part of this elite regiment. So I'm very proud of him that he did his service there. He was there for almost 5 years. He is not a soldier anymore because we moved out of UK and now we came here to Australia. I mean, I wouldn't say he's not a soldier anymore, because undertaking such a training that is so demanding and so serious and so professional, I think it makes you a soldier for the rest of your life. So I wouldn't say he's not a soldier anymore. He is a soldier, and I think he will always be. He is just not serving as a soldier anymore for the army. We came here, so that requires also a career change for him. So that's that. And the second question about what are the cultural aspects of Australia that are different compared to my culture. I think that's a lengthy topic in general about the cultural differences of all the countries that I lived in or been to. So I think I will make a separate video about that to dive into all particular countries and share my experience about that. Another question is, did you buy the apartment you are living in, or is it job apartment? So this apartment that I'm here right now, which is in Brisbane in Australia, this is my husband's apartment that he got before we got married. And the apartment that you have seen me filming all the previous videos, the loft, it's my own place. I bought it with my own money, and yeah, it's mine. I decided to keep it. I was intending to sell it in the beginning when we were moving. However, it was a short period of time and I didn't want to make rush decisions, and there was already too many things to take care of and think of and focus on. So for now, I decided to keep it. My family is taking care of it, and yeah, I still own it, and I'll see what I'll do with it in the future. For now, I'm enjoying being in this beautiful apartment, and I'm looking forward to make it more our own with decorating it, bringing our own family vibe into it. Another question is, tell us about married life and also what are you planning to do in Australia in terms of job. Well, married life, yeah, I imagine where this question is coming from. My husband hasn't been in my videos for a while, but I did a couple of relationships videos before and you kind of like it, so I will gladly come back to more relationship and marriage related topics. I have a lot of things to say on that matter, as you know, so also I think that married life deserves its own video in its own right, so I will leave it to that. What I'm going to do in terms of job, that kind of is similar to the first question about the plans for this year. I know it might seem like I'm here for a long time because I've been talking about moving to Australia for a couple of months now, but let's face it, realistically I'm here only 2 weeks, excluding quarantine. So it was 2 weeks of quarantine and I'm 2 weeks out of quarantine. That's a very short time, and that's a very short period of time to jump into like full force of life, job-wise and everything else. As you know, or maybe you don't know, I also have to make a video about that. Australia is a very demanding country in terms of all the legalities. I have to change all my documents like driving license and insurance, and all the boring but necessary adult stuff has to be taken care of before I can even think of any job. So these 2 weeks was kind of dedicated to that, this admin stuff, and just settling in and thinking of what has to be done, unpacking. There's still 13 huge 35 kilo boxes coming at the end of this month, so I will have lots of stuff to unpack as well and settle in. So to answer this question, long story, still long, I am not thinking about a job just yet. I'm doing YouTube. This is my job as well. And I'm not rushing into finding a job because there is a process. There is a process of easing in to a life in a new country, of settling in, making yourself feel balanced, comfortable, well, feeling well, healthy, physically and mentally. As I told you, I am trying to avoid stress at any cost due to all the amount of stress I had to take in my life early on. Therefore, I'm trying to avoid doing lots of things at once because that leads to burnout. And I am guilty of doing that before. I was doing that when I bought my first apartment. I just changed the job. I quit the job in the bank where I was working for 4 years. I had some personal relationship at the time issues which were consuming my mental space in my head as well, and that was kind of stressful. I started my own company to run my company for the first time in my life, and I bought an apartment which needed to be renovated. So as you can imagine, that is a lot at once. And unfortunately, I used to tend to do that. I used to tend lots of tasks, which each of them alone requires so much attention, focus, energy, and is stressful. And I used to take lots of them at once on my shoulders, which used to result in me being stressed and burdened and burnt out. So I took my lesson, not at first time, not at second time, not at first time. Unfortunately, I had to do that to myself a couple of times to learn my lesson, but I have learned my lesson and now I'm trying to avoid that. And luckily, I have the luxury of being in the relationship with the guy who's very mature, very understanding, very loving, very caring, and very supportive of anything I do and anything regarding my life. And he prioritizes my health over anything. So by my health, I mean like physical health. As you know, I overcome a very serious condition over the last 2 years, which I promised to make a video about, but I still haven't, and it's yet to come. I managed to do that, and sorry, my camera ran out of space. So where was I? Talking about the condition. Yeah, I I was struggling with that, which makes me appreciate even more the importance of health, both physical and mental, and you can only be at your full potential when you are fully healthy, and that comes down to right stress management and not bring upon yourself too much of everything, because we tend to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna avoid that. Yeah, and as I said, my husband is very supportive. He's the one prioritizing my health and my well-being, telling me not to stress, to let go, not to rush into everything, not to put too much on myself. I learned to listen to my husband since we are married, and that was very, very good for my general well-being. Yeah, listening to this advice was like the best I could do for myself at the stage where I was so stressed that it resulted in a condition. And speaking of my husband, that leads me to another question. It's like what my husband is going to do for work now. As I said, yeah, he was a soldier for all those years. Now he needs a career change because we changed the countries. He is about to take a very, very exciting position in the next 2 weeks. However, for now, I will not mention that just yet. My husband is in general a very private person. He doesn't have Instagram, he doesn't have social media. All his appearances in my videos were out of love, because he loves me very much and supports everything I do. So he wanted to take part in my channel for me. But yeah, I respect his privacy, and I know that he likes to be very, very, very private person. So for now, I'll keep this to myself, but it's a very, very exciting, amazing and great position. So maybe with time, if he feels comfortable with that, I'm gonna disclose that to you, or I invite him to one of my future videos and he'll share about that. We'll see. And one more note, speaking of the job as well, because lots of you still ask me about flight attendant videos, if I'm going to give some future advice for flight attendants, because I know my past advice for flight attendants did help lots of you getting a job even before pandemic. And if I'm going to make videos in regards to that topic, I think maybe yes, it helps lots of people, and I know it's useful for lots of you. And speaking of the job, as I said, I'm not saying no to the job. I am just slowly easing to what this year has in store for me. And I'm not excluding maybe potentially applying for flight attendant job again. If you watched my previous video about why I resigned from my previous job, or if you haven't, have a look at it. I explained the reasons why I resigned from my job in Etihad. But if I would be to take another job, that probably would be flight attendant again. Because as you know me, I never complained about the job. I always loved the job. I resigned from different reasons than not liking a job. And for me, as you know, I've done lots of different jobs in different fields. This job is the one that is the furthest from my educational background, yet the most satisfying for me and the least stressful for me. And as you know already from this video, I said probably 50 times, I'm avoiding stress at all costs. And this job was for me always the most pleasant. So maybe if I finally get settled in here with time, I mean finally, I'm only here 2 weeks, so after we get settled and organized in here and things are all in order, I will consider working for the airlines again. So if I will, hopefully you will join me on that adventure too. And I think that's it. I don't want to make this video last forever. There are lots of more questions, but some of them, as I said, they are regarding topics that deserves really their own video. So otherwise we would be here till tomorrow. So hopefully I managed to reply to some of your questions that you are interested in, and hopefully that's enough for now. If you have more questions in regards to any matter, let me know below this video in the comment section as well. And I'm really excited to bring you along with me in this new chapter, in this new country, on the other side of the world this time, and show you how it's gonna go. I'm very excited and I'm very positive about the chances and opportunities that this move holds for me, for us, for me as a person, for us as a family. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait to show you how my life is going to look. So subscribe if you haven't done that yet, to follow me on all the future adventures, and we can go through this together. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.